And we're live. Thank you all so much for
Hello,
joining
everyone.
us today. My name is Joseph, and we have an ever-growing panel of people with us. I think I might have to forego introductions just due to sheer volume. The stream will be over if we go through everybody, but I do want to point out our special guest, Chris. Chris is from EasyCam. This guy knows more about CNC than I think anyone that I've ever met, and we are glad to have you, Chris. Can you tell us a little about EasyCam and what it does?
Sure, thank you. Well, we cover EDM, we cover turn, live tooling, milling on for hobbyists, aerospace, I mean, and everything in between. So EasyCam is really powerful where you need it, and it's easy to learn. We have a new AI support, which I'm hoping to get into today. So you'll ask it questions, you'll see it even develop post processors. Post processors are kind of like they can be a bottleneck. I mean, it takes a lot of interaction to get them right, but once you do, you're rock solid and you'll never have a problem with your program. And we've created this new smart click technology where now you're just clicking on models. Back in the old days, you used to have to design curves, and that could be a point and click. You keep walking around the model till you get what you want for boundaries, and so that was done away with, maybe 3, 4 years ago, maybe. So yeah, we're kicking butt.
That's awesome. And we have a chance today for someone who's watching with us to get a free year of all access to all EasyCam products. Isn't that right?
That is right. Yes, that's an exciting time for someone. So
So stay with us. We're going to be doing a raffle, and well, hope that you are the lucky winner. Um, Let us know in the chat exactly where you're from. I'm in Arizona. We've got Greece. We have the UK, Michigan, and New England. So let us know where you're from in the chat. Now, I had an issue in the last stream because right as we were closing down, a perfectly beautiful question came in, and I was unable to have the time to answer it. And I promised I would open the stream with this question. So I'm going to share my screen and we can run through it. Here I've got a gear. And the question was, how can I show weight in drawings? So I'm going to send this over to a drawing. And as this opens up, the weight may come in an unlikely place. So I'm going to insert a view of my gear. And then we'll actually go to the bill of materials. And I'll insert a standard template. Now, it may seem kind of strange to have a bill of materials for one item, but stay with me here. If I double click on this, we can bring up our bill of materials editor. And then over here, I can right click and choose column and insert, or just go to add column over here. And I'll hit this X and remove everything. And then when I go to my properties, under design properties, there I have my weight. So I can add that as a column, and it comes in beautifully. Then I can just add this, maybe implement it right into my bill of materials or something like that. I can also specify with a new name. Maybe we'll add in kilograms or whatever your preferred unit is. Now the question is, what if I want to change something? So I'll go ahead and save this into my PDM. And then we'll say edit our 3D model. So if we need to change the material, right now we have 6061. I don't know, Chris, is that one of your favorite materials?
yeah, it's not bad.
It's easy to machine, that's for sure. Maybe we'll make a brass gear. If we apply that and save the changes, when we go back to our drawing environment here, I'll start reprojecting things. And sure enough, our weight updates. So we do have a linked updating weight. And actually, the ALIBRE logo is blocking my beautiful face here. So I'm going to get rid of that for a sec. What if we have an assembly and we want to do this? So just a few finer points for working in an assembly. I'll pull up my in progress gear assembly. Right, it's kind of half modeled right now, but you can get the idea. Lots of gears turning as we're loading this up. So have this interesting assembly. I'll go ahead and make sure that I send the most updated version to a drawing environment. How do we keep track of weights in assemblies? Oh, and looking at the live chat, we've got some good people here. Calgary, love it. New Hampshire, Las Vegas, North Carolina. That's awesome.
Not to be a stickler, but if we're working in kilograms, is that not the mass of the part instead of the weight?
I love it. Yep. Thank you
I mean,
very
I
much,
could be
Adam.
completely wrong. I am out of date on my physics, but
Sounds about right to me. I'm way out of school. I've got zero knowledge now on anything.
I was in a previous conversation with Adam. He said he's not an engineer, right? But I think that there's that one of his ancestors is whispering in his ear right now. That is very correct, actually. And it's the same thing about pounds. The If you want to be very strict about it, it's kilograms of weight, right? Kilograms of force as weight, right?
okay.
But
Yeah.
but if we're honest, when we call out the weight of a part, we use the wrong word. We do
Yeah.
want to specify the mass, right?
Yeah. Well,
But
at least
that's
our
an amazing. That's a comment that guys like me appreciate, Adam. Which is why we don't have many friends.
Right quick, I will make the disclaimer for us all. As comments and questions start coming in, we're going to do our best to get to all of them, but some questions do take longer than others to answer. So if we don't get to your question, go ahead and jump to the forum or the support team. The forum is amazing for Libre. So again, we're going to try our best to get to everybody, but might not happen. If you have any bugs or things like that you're asking about, be sure to contact the support team. They're really, really good about pushing that to the devs. Or again, check out the forum as well. They're really, really good about that. So, and thank
absolutely.
you, Pace M, for bringing up a potential bug. Go ahead and double check with the support team. I'm sure they'll be happy to help you. They'll probably want project files and stuff like that. They'll be able to help you out.
Perfect. And then so back to assemblies here. If I add a column and scroll down right under, again, design properties, we'll add a column for weight. Takes a second because there's a few parts at play here. Do it just to make sure I clicked it right. We're going to say design properties, weight. Oh, and I'm live. I always forget to do things when I'm live. There, I click the plus, and now weight ought to show up. There it goes. And the obvious thing is we're tracking the weight of all of our individual parts, but we kind of want to know the weight of the whole assembly, right? So down here, I can right click, and under column, we'll add a summation row for that column. And there is the total weight of our assembly. So easy way to track things. These are updating properties, and sure makes things easy. So that is how we do weight. A little bit different than working through the custom properties like we typically might. So hopefully for the person who asked in the last live stream, that's a great solution.
This might be one to do a clip of and post it separately, maybe.
Yes,
So
I
we
need to
can-
be
we can
doing
see
that.
it.
So I've had a lot of background projects that's stopping me from doing the videos, but we'll be getting into that too, because that would be a killer clip.
Yep. And can I just say here that this has already been covered by Joseph in an amazing series of videos he did on drawings. This methodology here, and if you need to put any sort of 2D drawing for your parts, you need to watch that series, because I think I knew some stuff, and I learned quite a lot. So definitely value there.
Well, thank you, Costas. I appreciate it. I see that we've got an EasyCam user from Washington. That's pretty cool. A Libre and EasyCam user. Good to have you with us.
Absolutely.
We got Fort Worth, Texas, Michigan. What kind of support does EasyCam come with?
Okay. Well, we do offer maintenance program through ALIBRE where you get a year of support. In that support, you get custom videos as well. So when you have a project, you're getting stuck, I mean, we'll work a video around your project so you understand it. If you have 2 monitors, follow along with that. I'm always posting something either on YouTube or Facebook. So there's a lot of videos. I'd say there's a couple hundred videos maybe out there. And now we're taking advantage of all those topical videos and place them in AI. So if you have a question about anything about EasyCam or even ALIBRE, we added ALIBRE to the AI as well. So you're off to the races. We do have PC to PC sharing. So you can log on to my computer, I can log on to your computer, and we'll interact that way real time. So you have any questions on the phone, I can take over your computer, give you an excellent walkthrough.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I've got another one here. How do you show center of mass on a part? I can take that one unless someone else is hungry for it.
No, I know how to give you the actual location of it in the physical properties, but I don't know how to show it in the part if that's possible. So sounds like a really good one.
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you for asking it. I'll grab a kind of odd L shape part right here. So in our design properties, we have the center of mass. And I think my...
you need to have the points showing.
Oh, thanks, Costas. Yep. So there's our center of mass right there. I just had be sure to show your points, folks, right there. And yep.
Nice and easy. That's a good one.
Nice and easy. Yep. So you can dimension it and all that. So that should work. What else have we got here? Oh, here's a good one. Does EasyCam have post-processor capabilities to work with small Makera CNC machines?
Okay, are we talking lathe or mill? I mean, our post-processor library, I mean, there are hundreds of post-processors available, and they make excellent templates. And again, if we're relying on AI, what would take me hours to do, AI spits it out in a minute, and we'll add what you ask it to add to the post-processor, remove it, or rebuild it for you automatically. I mean, I've been developing post-processors for over 25 years now. So in most cases, I can deliver something, based on the information that I receive. It can be a quick turnaround. We ask that you send us a sample program that runs your machine. Sometimes we require the manual. Some people take pictures if they don't have a PDF copy of the manual. So yeah, I mean, we support anything that has a servo motor attached to it. I mean, maybe, 5-axis positioning, not wrapping yet. So.
Yeah, I had this machine back here. I was using EasyCam. I didn't have a post-processor for it. I reached out to Chris, and he got me a post-processor. It was an awesome process and quite painless. So I've experienced the support there, and it's been really good. So Chris does a great job.
Thank you.
And can I just say here, for the people that are CAD only and they're considering going into CAM, right? That the post processor is a little piece of code that translates what you see on screen. So you might make the perfect CAM program, and you've got the toolpaths going exactly where you want them to be, and it's very efficient and all that, but it will never become a code that can run in your machine until you run it through a post processor. And me, having worked as a machinist straight out of university, and I worked in 2 machine shops where I was the designer, programmer, operator. You get the point. Post processors were a major pain point, especially when we were adding a new machine, right? So I have to say, right off the bat, first few seconds of this stream, using AI to develop a post processor, it's actually a great idea, right? It's a great idea because if you set it up correctly, it's something that I've worked with CAM companies and post processors for a particular machine for months on end, right? So yeah, AI
I,
for post processor. I'm excited.
I would like to demonstrate that for you guys. So if I can just share my screen right now.
You're on.
Great, actually.
Okay, so let's go in. Let me open a job so we have some code. And let's try something decent. Let's see. That's okay. So here we have our code. Let me process the
Nice part.
operations. Oh, thank you. I think I actually set this up in ALIBRE as I was learning the product. Beautiful. ALIBRE was just so intuitive. I'll tell you, it was just I could jump
It is.
on it. I mean, I'm not a professional by any stretch of the means, but I'll tell you, it just I was able to follow it and make something like this pretty much second day. All right. So now we go to post process, right? And let's bring this box over.
There you go. FANUC post processors. Oh my god.
Okay, so I'm going to go to this. Yeah, they can be. So I'm going to go in here into the post processor itself. Now look, this is our legacy code for building the post processor. You can see we're adding coolant here. We're adding speed and spindle direction. So this is basic. It's not very powerful. So I'm going to go into AI. Let's open up AI. Where did I put it? Drag this over. Now that's my active post processor. Let's get this back over here. And I'm going to load it. There's load the post processor. Edit post processor is up at the top. And it automatically uploaded the CNX file, which is all the data, all in one file. Whereas the post processor, you have program start, you go into different sections to build it. This is all of it tied together. And I just need to ask it a question. Let's say, add a tool list to the beginning.
Yeah.
And everything that is needed for Simco simulation.
That's cool. That's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah,
so for the uninitiated, what does that actually mean?
Fully initiated?
For the uninitiated person coming new into CNC, what does all of what you just said mean? So the Simco, what is that?
Oh, okay, sure. I was going to get into it when it pops up.
Sure thing.
Simco requires a setup of your stock. It requires tool lengths, tool diameters in order to get it right. So you would have to build a library. Well, in essence, what AI is doing for me, it's building that all the information, the background information that makes Simco simulation work. It's all being generated here. Now we had the legacy CAD, legacy code, and now we're building it's called WinBasic. We're building basic code, and it says save and import to EasyCam. So I made all the changes.
Oh, man, come on.
Yeah, I know this would take me hours to do. So now we're going.
Actually.
Let's see. All right. Oh. Let's post it. Just walking through my operations. Let me just drag Simco over onto the main screen here. Okay, so that was the legacy. I may have missed a step here. Let's see. Let me remove that. I apologize here. Let me.
That's okay.
Add the
Doing everything live always gets you to.
Yeah, you know, it's. Great new tool. I mean, this is recent. This is something that we just had developed. Our developer is outstanding. I mean, what he can do it just blows my mind. So let me get here in training, upload the FANUC post processor. I'm going to post it in regular code.
And it's going through the strategies. I see that. Nice.
Right. Okay. So pause. Okay. So here we have it. We just have that. There's our spindle, the direction, the coolant. If I was using coolant, would show up. So that's the old program style. So let's go to our AI assistant. Let's just run it through again. This is good. You guys will get an opportunity to see it again and solidify it. All right. So it's uploaded my CNX file. Ask the question again. Maybe I can do a copy and paste here.
I think that if we repost, because I think that was a Simco thing.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Post.
Simco is a great program. Oh no, it's still the same thing, huh? Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't run it through the AI just yet. So I'll come down here, Control V. There we are. Send it up again. It's pretty quick. Yeah, so if you look up here at the top while this thing's calculating, you have extended thinking, so you can go a little deeper if it's not giving you the answers that you're asking. It remembers your conversation. So as you're asking one question, it didn't get it right or it didn't give you enough detail, you can actually tell AI to go a little bit further with it. We have the ALIBRE help. So if you have questions about ALIBRE, making a lofted surface, you just ask it, how can I do that? And it will spit out the answer for you. And what's nice is at the end, if there's a related video, it's going to present that video to you. So not only are you getting the answers that you're looking for in writing, but you're also going to visualize it as well.
That's pretty cool.
All right, so now we have save and import to EasyCam. It says one modification and the program start. So it changed just the program start. It's telling me it didn't do it anywhere else. And then we'll save it. Yes. Now it tells me, it walks me through. So after that happened, it says click post to generate the G code to test the output. Then we click save CNC so it's permanent. So we'll go to post. Why is it not?
We selecting the correct post. And guys, this is what this is the joys of CNC, right? This is pretty standard stuff.
Now, anyone who who doesn't miss a step here and there is not live.
It should have been.
But
Let me eliminate the other one. I apologize that this is.
This is just the joy of doing everything live.
Right.
100%.
Yep.
Well, I did it just before we came on, and of course, the second time, what is it? 3 times a charm here.
Yeah.
Hopefully, that's not the
every
case.
machine shop.
Okay, so
every machine shop goes through this. So.
Yep.
Let me just clear the conversation. Post mode. I'm on post editor mode. This sends up attach the current post processor from EasyCam.
Now, Chris, I can. I've got a few other questions I can hit if you want to work in this in the background, or do you think?
Yeah, please. Yeah, why don't we do that to keep a nice even flow, and then I'll just go, Yahoo! We did it.
First try.
Well, that's a great one. Yes, this one is a little bit less asked about, but I really wanted to get to it if I can find it here. It's about educational licenses. Let me hunt down in the comments. I just saw it.
Right here, I got it.
Thanks, Adam. Adam's the hero that saves us all. Do you have any plans to offer education-based licenses, college and K through 12? I think if you're looking for something big, contact help@alibre.com. And I'm hello@alibre.com. Send an email there for like if you're a school. We also have $100 for pro and $200 for expert with a valid student ID. So keep that in mind if you are in the educational sphere. I also have one. Will AI be part of a permanent license, or do you have to be under maintenance to make use of that? I think that's for EasyCam when you have a second for that, Chris.
Oh, what was the question again? Wow, this is
Sure.
I'm working through this.
Yeah. Will AI be part of a permanent license, or do you have to be under maintenance to make use of it?
No, it's going to be available to those that are trying the software.
Perfect.
We don't want to leave anybody in the dark.
Very cool, actually.
And Steve, I saw that there is a Fusion 360 question that might be particularly tailored to you.
Yeah, there's one. I can talk about this one. Let me see if I can find it. Thank you very much. So you've been using Fusion Cam for some time, and when you try EasyCam, it's not so easy for me. I think this is a bit of an ethos when you're switching software. Now, I've used Fusion 360 since around 2016. I've dabbled with FreeCAD, and I'm now on the ALIBRE bandwagon. And every time I switch software, there is a learning curve that you have to go through. And you look at from a modeling perspective, all we're really doing here is we're manipulating vertices, edges, faces, and it's just the tools that you're using to manipulate those things. And I would suspect this very similar sort of ethos from a CAM perspective. You still have a stock setup, you still have a tool setup, you have some processes that you go through, whether it's a pocketing tool, whether it's a contour tool, whether it's a 3D shape that you're milling out, your order of operations. So the way you think through the order of operations and how you apply them isn't really going to change, but the mouse buttons, the keys that you're going to, the keystrokes you're going to need to use to achieve that are going to be unique to each of the applications you use, because the designers of this software, they come from different places. They potentially might have different customers in mind. So I would definitely recommend looking at the EasyCam YouTube channel. I've used, from a CAM perspective, I've used Fusion 360, FreeCAD, and Carbide Create, and I think I can get what I need done with the machines that I've got. And coming into EasyCam, I did get that little bit of a barrier, that learning curve, but I learned so much in a very short space of time just going to the EasyCam YouTube channel. There's some really good videos on there explained very clearly, and hopefully get you up and running. So, Chris, is there a forum for EasyCam that people can go to that's similar to ALIBRE, that people can ask questions if they get stuck?
Not the forum. We do have it. It's easy enough to remember. It's support@easycam.com. And of course, you can reach me and we'll answer any questions that you have. Is there going to be a forum in the future? And there's a good chance there could be. I haven't really talked much about it with the team. So
nice,
perfect.
And on that note, can I just add a bit of personal experience there? When I started learning CAD and CAM in university, it was with Pro Engineer Wildfire 3, right? And yes, people, I am that old. So it had a CAM module, right? Which at the time looked very powerful to me. It even had Volume Mill, a really nice tool back in the 90s. And then my first job, I used the CAM system called HSM. What was it called back then? HSM machining or something. HSM mill.
HSM Works. I know what you're talking about.
HSM Works. Exactly. HSM Works. Thank you, Joseph. Which is what Autodesk bought and made Fusion Cam, right? And at the beginning, it looked awful to me because it wasn't what I was used to. But then I got and I made some really, really intricate parts, like custom hydraulic distribution blocks, for example, right? For a system that had 6 to 8 hydraulic valves on it, depending on the model. And then next job, it was edge cam, which is a different paradigm again. So because cam systems, like CAD systems, are like 80% similar. If you invest the time, you will get great results with it. And if you want to talk about the last 2 or 3% of time efficiency, yeah, of course we can discuss that. But to my mind, that's about it. It's about the last few percent of time efficiency. The rest is things that all software can do. And actually, to me, support and a nice rapport and communication channel with a company and my reseller is more important to me.
Gotcha.
Well spoken.
Yeah, thank you, Costas.
We have a couple more questions here.
Yes. Which one are you looking at, him?
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I apologize. I think the earliest one that hasn't been answered is this. I believe it's
There you go.
a ALIBRE question.
I have multiple values in a feature tree, part name and part number. For example, part name is shaft and part number 50010. Feature tree shows shaft 50010. Okay. Multiple values in a feature tree. I think he's asking about like properties. Is that right? Like updating properties? That's a good one. I might have to write that one down.
Yeah,
okay, so this is Paddle Talks. Okay. So he's the guy that gave us the amazing question about the parametric offset last time, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think there are multiple ways to deal with that. And I was preparing a video. Okay, so this is like a trailer or something. I was preparing a video on how to export a bill of materials, save it as a CSV, and then bring it into a spreadsheet editor and do all sorts of magic there, right? Like create ready-made purchasing orders, which is something that you can very well do. Perhaps that's something that you could handle there, like have the name of the part be shaft space dash space and a part number, and then bring in, export a bill of materials, save it as a CSV, and handle it through a spreadsheet editor, which I know it's not the best answer, but you could even automate a bit with a bit of Python through a ALIBRE script. So is that what you had in mind? If not, let us know. There are many ways to handle this, even through PDM, I think, Joseph, right?
Yes, I believe so. So let us know in the comments. Thank you for that answer, Costas. Cool to see have a guy from Sweden. I love that. Love our international folks, and thanks for. I don't know what the time zone is in Sweden, but it might be awkward. So thanks for joining.
It's about 7:30. They're on our time zone, aren't they? I think it's about 7:30 p.m.
Yeah. Love this one. What is the best way to calculate a sheet metal part cutting length inside and outside? So I'll jump onto this scene. And by the way, if you guys want to ask us with your voice or have a conversation with us on the air, we certainly can do that. I'll put a text block up here. So you can go there if you want to ask us anything. And I think I've also got a QR code to join us on the stream. That's probably a bit better. So leave that up for a second if anybody wants to join us. And then there we go. So for sheet metal, right? The idea is, and I don't know, does anybody want to take that sheet metal question? I don't want to hog the
you're
stream.
All set. You're all good. So
Okay.
Well, that's a nice looking part too.
Yeah, thanks. This is from our beginner course that we have. So check out our beginner series if we kind of make this video by video. So we have a flat pattern that we can flatten it out, and then you'll see that our stamped area stays, because generally when you do something forming, you do that first and then cut out your blank for sheet metal bending. But how do we calculate the lengths? Because different materials are going to have different bends and stretching when you go to bend things. So we use K factor. Let's go with adding a flange here. Now, when I go to add this flange, I can go to advanced over here and see that we have K factor, and we have a built-in K factor value for whatever material that we want to use. Under bend allowance options here, we also have unfold lengths, so we can set it that way as well. But then when we go to flatten things out, those bends and stretches are built into our flat pattern, and that would be the approach that I'd say we use to calculate sheet metal part for cutting lengths. Hopefully that answers the question. I haven't been a career sheet metal guy. I've only used it a few times in the field, so maybe there's more to that question. But that would be my short answer on that. Let me know if I hit it or not. I'll second the comment. There's nothing AI about Steve's channel. In fact, I've watched him fix headphones live on the air. That was my favorite live stream moment, because I'm sitting there going, "There's no way Steve can fix that circuit board on those headphones," and it worked. And I think you're wearing them right now. So look at that.
There you go. but wait a minute. How do we know that Steve is even real? Is he not too good to be true? Maybe he's AI.
Sometimes, yep. Sometimes I get into an explanation and Steve says, "But what does that mean for a beginner?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so glad Steve asked that, because it's easy to
exactly,
get into the fast."
Exactly.
Hey, speaking of AI, I had some success. What
Let's go.
What happened to me was that I had opened up multiple documents, figuring I'm going to save time. And what I did was I was working with a post processor from the previous program. So here we have our stock information. We have our tool list. So that's all been added. If I go in to post, and we're going to save the CNC, we want to make sure we save it. I'm going to go into the editor. We'll go to formats, program start, and now it's all Visual Basic.
Yep, there you go. Okay.
Yep. So sorry about that, guys.
Golf clap for Chris.
So sorry, but former mediocre machinist here. Question. First of all, Simco is a great program. I loved it, especially when I realized I can actually mirror a code inside Simco without even needing to go into CAM, which was useful on more than one occasions. Does Simco come with a license of EasyCam?
Yes, it works a couple of ways. If you're on maintenance, then if you have a perpetual license at the end of your maintenance, you'll be stuck on the same version. I believe you won't have any upgrades to that. I mean, it's looking at your license. If you have a subscription service, of course, you maintain that. You're going to have it. And if you don't renew, EasyCam will know that, and you will not have access to Simco.
Right. Okay, cool. And do you have a dedicated simulator tool, or do you simulate through Simco as well?
We can simulate through Simco. Okay. And if I go into what we've been working on, let me activate these.
Because Simco can do some really decent simulation if you have all the data, and doing a post processor that gives the data to Simco was a very interesting idea that I hadn't thought of back in the day, and I should have.
Just opening Simco now.
Yeah.
Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to...
Yeah, the backplot. Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So, This is so useful, guys. This is so useful.
So here's the wireframe.
Yeah. Even that is extremely useful if you know what you're looking for and how to read it.
Exactly. And if we didn't have the post processor developed for that, you would have to go in. You would have to go into your tool setup. So even
Tool
getting
setup. I know.
yeah, tool setup. And
Which is making your tool libraries twice, which is not practical, right?
Let me just simulate the stock here. Add stock.
And a special thanks to Don Reese. I love that comment. I'll show it one more time. Chris is really good about helping, and I always get quick responses from Chris.
Once again, guys, we're going to try our best to get to everybody's comments, so sit tight if your comment's still hanging up there. We'll do our best to get to it.
Now, I don't know if I knew that you were such a great machinist, Costas. This is you're like an onion with new layers of surprises.
I'm not that. No. Because I've come to learn to respect the word machinist, right? And I'm not. I'm a decent CAM programmer, but I'm a very mediocre machinist. Trust me. Trust me on that.
Well, that's a step above me.
I don't know about anyone else. The more I learn, the more I realize I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. But isn't it like that? Isn't it amazing that it is like that? Isn't it? Right.
And it's so paradoxical that those skills to not know what you're talking about is also correlated with competence.
Yeah. It comes to bite you. It comes back to bite you, doesn't it?
Anyway.
Yeah. The first thing I learn is where do I not put my hand? Next to the big spinny thing that's eating the metal or wood is probably a good start.
Yep.
Start at the basics.
You have to bear with me. This is like not
I'm very honest, I don't remember how to set up the stock on Simco either. I think if you go to add dimensions, you can definitely give it some dimensions for the stock. But then,
but it was supposed to get that out of EasyCam. So you know what my fault might be that I have the stock. Go back through it.
As you're going through that, I'll bring up one question that looks pretty good here. Any chance ALIBRE will make any improvements to the drawing side of the software after part created and converted to a drawing? Coming from SolidWorks, that'd be really nice to see that. And yes, I've tracked a lot of drawing requests on the forums as well. And I'd like to see that. So I think in V27 or V28, we had some enhancements that were highly requested, and we always want to keep on improving that. So don't feel shy about submitting an enhancement request from the home screen of ALIBRE, and we can get that taken care of for you.
Yep. Remember, the biggest thing with an enhancement request is tell them why you want the feature as well, because going from that kind of perspective, it helps them add the feature. Because adding features without knowing why necessarily you want it can sometimes be a bit of a blind battle, right? They want to know why so that they can make it that much better for you. So remember, when you submit a feature request, say, this is what I'm looking for and why. This is why I need this feature to use the software. Why it helps you, because like Max has gone with importing like STLs and things. Importing STLs can be used for tons of different reasons. So
thanks, Adam. Yeah, that's a great point, because if we can know, do you want to import an STL just to measure around it? Do you want to import an STL because you want to modify the STL? Those are two different cases and two different timelines for implementation, and maybe we can get some features out that are useful. So
exactly. So
yeah, thanks for bringing that up, Adam.
Well, absolutely. It's worth mentioning if you're looking for feature requests, because maybe they do add some drawing features and it's not what this guy's looking for or how he wants to use it. So
yeah, for sure.
Now, Chris, I think I took enough of your time. Oh, sorry, Costas.
Yeah, I was just saying I quite like the drawing environment in ALIBRE as it is, but if anybody has got any ideas on how to make it better, by all means.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Chris. Sorry for that's not even an easy cam question. I asked. I got a bit carried away, if I'm honest. But yeah, I remember that it's pretty easy to actually get a block going, but then you need to locate it in Simco. So
Yeah, I'll have to figure that one out. I'm sure it's just something simple.
Here's one for you,
you
Chris.
also
Oh,
Yes.
go ahead, Costas.
stock rectangles. You also have 3 stock rectangles in the geometry manager. It's not a Simco stream. Let's go, guys. Sorry for that. I get tunnel vision. Sorry, guys.
I did get a question for you, Chris. On EasyCam, is it possible to run a Swiss with a thread whirling tool? I'm pretty sure that means a Swiss screw machine.
Well, we can support we can support sub spindles, 2 turrets without the weight codes. That would just have to be manually inserted into the program. We can support B-axis, Y-axis, the C, and of course, I'm trying to think of the sub spindle, what that coordinate system would be, but we support, like I said, 2 spindles, 2 turrets, Y-axis and B-axis support. So beyond that, then just I'm going to have to say not more than that.
Perfect. I think we got clapping there. That's good.
Yep.
Can hear a hard drive. That might be my server. Let me unmount my server here, and maybe that'll quiet it down. Thanks for letting me know that you can hear my hard drive.
Oh. Okay, so this is another nice question about EasyCam. Which version would be required for 3 and 4 axis CNC millwork?
Okay, so for 3 and 4 axis CNC work, you're going to want the Easy Mill or the Easy Mill Pro. The 3D, it depends on how complex. I mean, if you're dealing with a lot of filleted, complex molds, then you're going to want to go with the Pro. You can always start off with the mill, and within your 1 year support and maintenance, you can pay the difference to get the Pro. The Easy Mill will support both wrapping and 4-axis wrapping and indexing, so you're covered there. The Easy Mill Pro goes a little bit further. You can actually machine 3D surfaces on some wrapping.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting because we were discussing about Fusion, right? And Fusion took their sweet time doing 4-axis anything, and once they made it and had it working, they put it behind a $2,000 a year paywall. So if Easy Mill Standard can do 4-axis wrapping, that's awesome in my book. So.
Yeah, I've been able to cut a decorative post where it was a vine with grapevines, and it would do the rotation and do the, it would be like a corkscrew. It would just go through and machine the post. A lot of woodworkers, we do get woodworkers that buy our software, and that's one of the types of projects that they have.
Yep, and let's also mention, if people don't know it, that the vanes in a gas turbine, which could be either a power station gas turbine or a jet engine, so those little vanes that are put on the hub are actually 4-axis millwork, not 5, like many people think. They are polished, of course, later, but yeah. 4-axis wrapping can do some pretty complex stuff. Yep, for sure.
I believe I've missed a question, so I can jump back in the history here. I'll switch to my screen if you don't mind. So I see many times everything is black, but one line won't move no matter what. It doesn't turn black. I will just select everything and apply the lock. But for a complicated design, any insight to constrain it? And that is an awesome question. So when I make a sketch, it really is about the sketch solver. Here in my lower right, I better hide that comment so that you can see. In my lower right, I get a little magnitude position undefined, magnitude defined, position undefined, and fully defined. So we'll go through what those colors mean. Here, if I make a rectangle and I give this a length, this turns orange, as well as this one, because we now know the length. So magnitude is defined, but we don't know the position. I can move this line around, but no matter what I do, the length of the line does not change. Now, if I start adding some dimensions, and this isn't necessarily the best practice of how to dimension something, but just to show, this line now turns black because we know where that line belongs and we know how long it must be. And so I think our user is asking, sometimes everything is defined, but something doesn't turn black. And that happened to me back when I was a career SolidWorks user. It's happened in FreeCAD, Onshape, just about anything I use. This is down to a sketch solver. So there are algorithms that determine what the degrees of freedom of sketches are. Sometimes a sketch is applied in a way that is correct, but the algorithm kind of fights it, and so something may not appear fully black. Often, if I know that my sketch is fully defined, I just ignore it because I know that it's the dimension that I want, and move on. And sometimes, if I really need to troubleshoot something, I can delete some constraints and constrain it in a different way. For example, in this case, maybe instead of having this one right here, I can delete that, or I can delete a vertical and then try to use different constraints to get the same solution. Almost always that clears it, but it is kind of a back-end algorithm, and all platforms have this. It's not a unique thing. So that's my approach. Anybody else have any comments on that?
Yep. Can I just say?
So go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I've had that as well. What I do is I break a coincident constraint on any line, reapply it, and that usually jogs it out of the place that it's locked in and works. But yeah, it's like it's happened to me like maybe 2-3 times in the 5 years I've been working with ALIBRE. So it does happen. But
suggestion I can make is sometimes if you constrain as you go, little bit by bit, sometimes it tends to do better for me. And then it helps your brain also keep track of what is fully constrained and what isn't.
Perfect.
But let's just let this user know that you shouldn't apply the lock constraint. The lock constraint is like the nuclear option when we're talking about parametric CAD systems, right? If you can avoid it, you avoid it.
Always good advice.
You're not auditing my drawings, Costas. I've just decided that.
Yeah, okay. You're quite the nuclear guy, I guess.
I can see an EasyCam question here. It's actually one question with 3 parts by the looks of it. Am I good to pull that up, Joseph?
Yeah, please.
Cool. So this is from one of my viewers, SWK. Is there a version of EasyCam that is good for routers? And I'm guessing that's probably more a post-processor question than it is anything else. Would you say that's fair, Christopher, or would you?
Okay, so with the Centroid, we already have the post processor for the Acorn, and with routers, we support routers all throughout the world, and there won't be any issues. But the version of product that you need, the Mill Express handles some 3D machining. You don't get a nice uniform toolpath, so sometimes you would have to create and combine strategies. So it's going to take longer to produce the part for a good finish, but you can achieve it in the Express. And the mill has it has a wizard that goes along with it, making it easier to walk through. It also has some advanced toolpath for you, not as powerful as a Pro as you would suspect. The Mill Pro offers, so you know the difference, it offers plunge milling. So if you're going to hog out a lot of material fast, you would use plunge milling. It has pencil milling. It has re-roughing. So if you go in there with a large tool and you want to go back in and get those corners, you're going to want to, you don't want to have to manually set those boundaries, and you're going back to curves in order to do that.
Exactly.
So Mill Pro calculates all of that for you. It offers a nice uniform step over with our equidistant, so that it doesn't matter what surface slope. If it's a vertical wall, it's going to give you a uniform toolpath throughout. So it's not like being, the projected toolpath where you have the pocketing and you get a step over, you're coming up against a vertical wall, or let's just say there was a slight taper to it. Well, when you step over that 1/4 of an inch, you could miss the surface completely. So the Mill Pro takes care of that for you. It's definitely an investment. But again, if you were to buy the mill and you tried it out and you wanted to upgrade, it's affordable to upgrade.
And what about V-carving support for either like carving text or inlays?
Oh, yes. Okay, so we have a TextCam program that you can take in images, so photos, as long as they nice, crisp, sharp edges, we'll be able to detect that and give you, toolpath. You can create pockets, you can create bosses and outlines. But as far as texture, working with texture, we don't offer 3D support from images, and so we're not like VCarve in that respect.
Cool.
And then I see one. Can you? There it is. Can you show the cam process for non-rectangular material? So if you have a circular flame cut raw stock, and
Oh yeah, no, excellent.
Hope I'm not interrupting another question there. If anybody else was wanting to answer the last one.
All right, let's.
Well, I can tell that user right now, if you have a flame cut piece of stainless, the correct workflow is to get a co-worker to mill it. But apart from that, I'll let Chris continue.
Yeah, let me see if I have something that would be a good example for that. I mean, that's actually an Express project right there. So you can do some pretty intricate work.
So that is a bit like the old PDC volume mill. You give it a window and it mills that window, right? Is that how it works?
With the Express, yes.
Cool. Well, that's cool, actually.
And that was just a silhouette boundary curve. So let me delete the curves. And I'll get to the question right away. I know that's so your curves, silhouette boundary curve. My other screen has the. What am I getting? I'm locked out here.
Maybe there's
no, my main screen had the command.
Menu.
All right, so silhouette boundary.
Oh man, that's cool.
Now let's say I want to offset that and make that custom stock. Then what I can do is I can go in curves, offset. Let's give it a distance. Wrong direction. So we'll give that a name. Edit, rename. I should have named it when I made the curve. And this is going to be stock CRV. Rename. Then I'm going to give it some toolpath. Let me just go back to that silhouette boundary curve again. make a contour, 1/2 inch, multiple passes, stock allowance 0. Total stock, let's say there was 1 1/4 inch. Cut step, with a 1/2 inch cutter, we'll step in maybe every 200 thousandths. Now we're going to make that the stock. So if we take a look at the stock as we have it now, rectangular block of stock. Go in stock setup. And I just changed this to custom stock. And what it's doing is it's looking for the name stock CRV. And then it will give me the shape, as you can see, our stock shape. And you can do that with a solid model as well. A solid model can be any shape, and it can be imported into EasyCam as an STL file, and you can do the same thing. And that can be, let me do that. I have an example from ALIBRE. What's this? Oh, Pro. I think my sharing button got in the way. This is a good example of our relationship with ALIBRE. So here I have some suppressed faces.
Yeah, okay.
So that'd be my stock, so I would want to machine what's underneath it. So I'm going to go over to our add-on, EasyCam Sync.
Come on, really cool.
I'm going to transfer this. You can transfer it as a part if that's what you're going to machine. I'm going to transfer this as stock, and that comes in as a white model or see-through. Then we come into Libre again, we'll suppress these features. I moved it out of the order. Come on, there we go. Oh, there we go. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I wanted that. I'm sorry. Suppress them. Okay, now we go over here to sync. Transfer as part. You see, we've capped our holes and complex surfaces. Now we'll add 3D machining toolpath to it. I'll be, let's see, so finishing equidistant offset, ball end mill. Yeah, we'll go with 12. Step over. I'll have a large step over so there's less time to calculate. I want to interrupt it just a second here. I'm going to give it a negative finish allowance. So we're going to actually see it go in and cut. This is what I was talking to you about, Joseph. It takes a little while for these things to calculate.
That's all right. Here's
Oh yeah, for sure.
Here's an interesting question that's come up. Why should the lock constraint be avoided?
Yep. I just answered that in chat, but let's
okay.
just discuss it as well. It's so when you lock, first of all, the lock constraint is applied to specific sketch elements, right? It doesn't apply well to the ones you select. If you select everything, it applies to everything. But a lock constraint goes onto every single different sketch element that you have selected. And because of the parametric nature of ALIBRE, right, and how the sketch is handled, when you constrain a single sketch element, it has far-reaching implications. It might constrain some degrees of freedom of the elements around it. It might constrain an element that is all the way the other side of the sketch, right? Depending on how you've set it up and what was the design intent that you had when going in there. Basically, you avoid it for two reasons. First of all, you negate any parametric capabilities that ALIBRE gives you, and secondly, it is very, very, very easy for the lock constraint to have an effect that you are not anticipating. That's what I would say. Of course, there are times that you need to use it. For example, every drawing that Steve makes. But sorry for that, Steve. Sorry for that.
Sorry, but yeah, I'm just recovering from the bus I just been thrown under.
No, sorry, my bad. Oh man, but sorry, really. Just a joke. Steve is actually a great designer because he's designing some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, that's the idea. Sometimes you do need to use it, especially if your design intent is to lock something in place. But I prefer to lock things in place with dimensions and the other constraints instead of the lock.
So one of the things I use the lock for.
I'm ready when you guys are.
All right. I just had to switch to our faces to make sure that we were communicating well. Can you all hear Steve?
Yep, I can hear him fine.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, one of the reasons I use the lock is if I'm projecting from a piece of geometry, and that needs to be trimmed or altered. When you keep the constraints from the model, it doesn't allow you to trim. Is my experience. Maybe I'm not sure if that's just the nature of it or if I'm doing something wrong. So I'll apply a lock, and then I'll sketch around things so that as I'm dimensioning other elements, the line that I'm adjusting doesn't move, or the line I'm projecting doesn't move. And then I'll remove the lock, then trim, and then do all the bits and pieces that I need. So I jest when I talk about using the lock.
That's actually okay. So Steve, they're showing why he's genius, but that's a great use of the lock constraint, like a temporary lock. I like that. That's a great use of it.
Yeah, that's a good lesson. Never underestimate Steve. I've been living that one for a while.
Anyway, Chris, you're showing us this carve.
Yeah,
that simulation was really cool, actually.
Yeah, here was a good example of transferring the part from ALIBRE as a stock, and then we're cutting into the model. I mean, it's just a rough example, but sometimes when you go out and get something heat treated, of course, you got to remove just a very little amount of material. So this is a good example of that.
Yeah, and on that note, Chris, most tool steels, right? Mm-hmm. You machine, you pre-finish, you harden, and then you do the final finishing on the hard material, because you need to take out any warp that the hardening did. So that's an excellent use for what you just showed. Actually, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And if that's it for that question, I think we've got a few rapid ones for you.
Sure.
What is the price level on EasyCam?
Well, I will. Joseph, would you be able to answer that on the ALIBRE site? Because it's different. You guys, when you bundle packages, it's different than what we deal with. So
we'll jump to my screen here now. Of course, you have our wonderful deals that we have. And then when you come down here, you can say there's some options for CAM. So if we add milling software, right, you can get Easy Mill Express, $4.99, Easy Mill, about $2,000, and then Easy Mill Pro, $29.99. Or you can do turning, right? Easy Turn Express, $4.99, $2,000 here. Or there's another option. You can win the lottery at the end of the stream and have full access to everything for free for a year.
There you go.
So to be clear, these are one-off costs for the actual software. This is not including things like ongoing support, but the software purchase is a one-off purchase. Is that right?
Chris, how do you support the ALIBRE purchases? That might be good for you.
Well, yeah, no, you get my support, when you buy a maintenance. When you walk through the store, when you select one of the modules and add it to the ALIBRE, you'll be prompted to add maintenance to it. And that'll give you the 1-year support and maintenance that goes through and offers you the same things I mentioned earlier, the PC to PC sharing, the phone support, the email, the custom videos. Now, I also want to mention one more thing about the support. We have what we call Easy Web Tools. And what that does is it will back up your post processors to the cloud, back it up your parts. It's not required. I know there's a lot of companies out there that are sensitive to any cloud material, so it's just an option. And it's just a tremendous way of supporting people, because when you upload your file through one click, I get the post processor, your layout, your toolbars, your part. And so I have a mirror image of your computer, or not, I don't want to say that, but a mirror image of your EasyCam files. And what you see is what I'm going to see. So any errors related to interface or whatever the situation may be, I'm going to have an exact replica.
Nice.
And can I just, because I have to admit I hadn't looked at these prices. For example, when we were talking about EasyMill license being around $2,000, that's the that's the permanent one, right? Just like ALIBRE. So you get 1 year of maintenance, but then when the maintenance runs out, you get to use the version that you have for as long as you want. Correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so I will be that guy again here and say that throughout this stream, Chris has mentioned quite a few features that Fusion has. It's in machining extension, and the machining extension for Fusion costs $2,000 a year. So this is like, I like the fact that EasyCam has got the same value proposition as ALIBRE, right? A very, very serious proposal for a sensible amount of money. So I like that. That's cool.
That's kind of where I was going with the question, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were just looking at, the Mill Pro, the mold. I mean, that was incredible on what we can do with that. And then we have the live tooling on the lathe for this. You look at that price there, that's about $2,000 through ALIBRE. And
that was cool as well.
You get all the bells and whistles, and yeah.
On that same note, we've talked about this before, guys. The ALIBRE is a perpetual license, and the subscription is for maintenance. So that's your updates every year. It is not required for you to purchase that. That is the only difference. There's that upfront cost, and the subscription cost is what gets you your yearly updates. So other than that, you get the same software regardless. You don't have to pay every single year for ALIBRE.
No, I don't know.
You don't even have to pay for the years that you missed, which is we need to say that again, because it's starting to become a common practice in the CAD world, and I hate it. If you miss a couple of years and you want the new version of your CAD system, you need to pay like 3 years maintenance, which is
not the case with
not
ALIBRE.
acceptable, guys. It's not the case with ALIBRE, and it's not acceptable. It doesn't work like that.
That was exactly what I was going to say about an EasyCam, is that we don't double it. So if you skip a year, you're not going to pay double the maintenance. It just goes up a fraction of the cost. So it's very affordable. It's not. I think that's a little outrageous. Yeah.
Quick question for Joseph here: is V29 still on track for its typical release time that was over the next month or two? Right? Is it still on track?
That's a good question. Yeah, and we do have some updates on that. So we're going to be releasing the beta shortly, targeting early March. I was able to confirm this, so that's where we're going. Depending on how the beta goes, that's going to determine the date of the final launch. So it's going to probably take longer than a month to be released fully, and it's kind of dependent on how our beta goes. But so yes, we're early March for the beta version, and that should get everybody pretty going on not Weldments, but the new UI, and then Weldments shortly after the dot release. So
as always,
yes,
check the forum.
He said the word again, guys. He said Weldments.
It's coming.
It's coming, man. Come on. And if I can highlight a question here, it's for Chris. Does EasyCam support an initial probe?
I mean, we can add anything to the code. We have the ability to do that. We have what they call auxiliary function, so that could be implemented in the beginning of the program. A lot of that is point cloud, and we don't have any way of stitching together a point cloud to make a 3D surface, so that just be aware of that. But yeah, we could write a routine. I don't know what's going to be involved in doing that. I haven't done that, so I would want documentation on it and samples, so I could evaluate that and give you a yay or an A.
Well, Bill Black just put in a great comment, but can I just point out that the initial probe is set up to work mainly, offline on the machine, right? It comes with its own routines. You can pick up the position of your stock. You can measure. You can do all sorts of stuff. The only real use case I have ever found of a initial probe through the cam system is in molds, where you cut, you measure, and you feed this back to the cam system, and somehow it adjusts. But that's a very, very niche use case, and it's something that you can actually do manually fairly easily once you get the hang of it. It's not the end of the world if you don't have it. And again, I've only felt that I needed that when I was making molds and high tolerance demand as well. So
I've got an interesting one here. Quick question: what would be the easiest way to model and create a blunt start Higby threads on an OD thread connection? We do a lot of housings that have a lot of stub Acme threads. So I can jump onto my screen, unless I don't know. Do you guys want to do any thread tools, or?
I think you're the master of that one.
I know the thread enhancement was one of my favorite things.
Are you going to use surfaces to do this?
I can't think of a way I can get surfaces in there and still have it be practical.
Sorry.
I know. I'll keep thinking, though. I bet there's a way I could slip it in. But so I'll go with an external thread here. When we pull up our thread tool, we have some built-in things here. So I choose a circular edge there. We'll jump into, I think it was Acme stub that we were talking about. And then we also, depending on what you want by blunt start, we have the chamfer right here, so we can automatically chamfer the edge. Not fully a blunt start, though. So if you're going for just quick and easy model threads, I would suggest Acme stub with a chamfer. Otherwise, it's kind of down to making your own blunt start yourself if a chamfer isn't good enough. I want to look into doing that, so let me put that on my video list. I know someone asked me earlier about our upload schedule, so I need to get a video out anyway. So we'll add a way to do blunt start, because blunt start is a little bit different than a chamfer, but if you're happy with a chamfer, that's how you do it, quick and easy. Otherwise, stay tuned and like and subscribe. I'll do a video for blunt start.
Nice. We got a couple questions regarding Simco in EasyCam. Someone's asking if it's an add-on.
Not with EasyCam. They do offer add-ons. I think there's depends on the multi-axis. I think you have to that's an add-on with them. But as far as being able to backplot, it's included with EasyCam. We actually, if you look on the screen again, you notice that under our listings, you have generate the code without any visual. You have Simco, and then you have Notepad. So Simco will just automatically launch. Again, that's included with EasyCam. And when you're, let's say you don't renew your subscription, then of course you don't have the Simco license any longer. If you run out of maintenance, you own EasyCam, you own the version of Simco that you were given initially. I hope I answered that okay.
I do see a similar question about can you walk us through loading Simco? Is that possible, Chris?
I can create a video. I don't want to get tied up on Simco.
Okay. Stay tuned, like and subscribe, guys. Subscribe to the EasyCam channel. What version of EasyCam? Oh, have you got one?
I was just going to really quick, because I'm not sure.
Yeah,
this guy says, are there constraints missing in ALIBRE which other CAD programs have that we're thinking of adding? I have only ever used Onshape other than ALIBRE, and I haven't noticed anything missing compared to Onshape. Of course, when I first used Onshape, I did not have all that much experience. With all that being said, I honestly, and I'm not trying to toot ALIBRE's horn, but I think ALIBRE has quite a bit more features than Onshape does, at least built in. Onshape relies a lot on community-related features. But as far as constraints in particular, I haven't noticed anything, but maybe that's one for Kostas, who's used a lot more software than I have.
Yeah. So if we want to be very very precise here, I would say that ALIBRE has one constraint in the sketch environment that I've never seen in any other CAD system, and that's the second way to use the midpoint constraint, which is with 3 points. And I don't know if you want to switch to my screen, Joseph, where I can do like a quick demonstration of that. So when you use the midpoint, you can use the midpoint constraint in ALIBRE only with points. And how does that work, right? So let's say we've got a line here, and I made it like crooked on purpose, right? And I'll use the midpoint constraint, and now I'll click on this point, I'll click on this point, and then I'll click on the origin. And you'll see that what I've done now, it tells the system to make the third point. So basically the first 2 points that you click on define a linear segment. Of course, here it is already a linear segment, but it can be anything, right? It can be projected points. And the third point you click on, it forces the system to keep that third point on the perpendicular bisector of that linear segment that the first two define, right? So you see it here. It doesn't become the midpoint, right? But it is forced to remain on the perpendicular bisector of that linear segment. So I haven't seen that in any other CAD system. And once you get used to it, you use it a lot. It saved me a couple of dimensions in complex projects, for example, right? And that's really cool. Now, what ALIBRE is missing is not a constraint. It's a, well, it is a constraint. It is called a constraint, I guess, in the assembly environment, is the mid-plane constraint that SolidWorks has. That is missing in ALIBRE. You can work around it, but that would be the only thing I would say that you might find missing in ALIBRE. And it's being asked enough, so I'm sure that the guys are considering it after V29 comes out, because they have their plate full right now. But
Yeah.
I will be sure to see it in the near future.
One constraint that I hear about a lot, and that's really high up on my list in an assembly, the midpoint plane constraint. There's some.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't say it correctly, maybe. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. Awesome. Thank you so much, Costas. Hey,
Oh, we're coming back on. Tacos ran out on Tuesday. With the tacos again. Yep, I think we are back.
we survived.
Let us know, guys. Can you hear us? Welcome. Okay. Thank you, Araf. Excellent.
Yep, we're back. All right, I think
Yep,
we were on
we
you,
are.
Chris.
Yes, yes. So I was talking about the world on model. I don't know if we lost you before or after I started that conversation, but so world on models over here on the left hand side. You can set up your coordinate system based on a block of stock. You can create the stock solid as you see here, that is a gray see-through window. World on stock just positions your coordinate system. So if I go with 300 and I were to pick the upper left-hand corner, so you have world on stock. So the coordinate system, you're touching off your tools on the material versus having it established for the part. You've seen that there was stock set up with through ALIBRE, the custom curve under stock setup. There's also accommodations for cylinders. So like 4-axis cylinder around X, cylinder around Y. But we do have the cylinder around Z axis. And if I hit auto setup, it gives me the diameter. Let's see. Let me make something simple here. Turn this off. Right. And preview. There's our cylindrical stock. It was wrapped up with it was based on the size of the block itself. So if you have round stock, you're going to want to go to the stock setup if you're not going to customize your stock. But yeah, in EasyCam, you have either a block of stock, round stock, or you go through your custom stocks. And that would be something you'd build, preferably through ALIBRE.
A bit of feedback for you,
Yeah,
Chris.
very cool.
People are saying amazing. I believe we'll give it a shot, starting with the trial. So, really exciting stuff.
Oh, it really is.
So, Bill Black, I'm late. Was I supposed to bring the tacos? Yes. In fact, the stream crashed due to a lack of tacos. I'm hungry again.
Yes. Again. I mean, Bill, you should have an alarm set by now. You know, right around this time, you bring the tacos. That's maybe that. You know, that's why the stream's crashing every time.
At least Taco Bell.
Something.
I'm seeing one.
And
How
then-
looks the toolbox and EasyCam process? I mean, interrupt.
That's a nice one.
Toolbox and EasyCam. Okay, yeah, that's a fantastic
Tool.
tool. You can convert metric to inch, geometry to metric in just a click of a mouse. You can pick curves of the current work step, so you can be added to another work step. We have set the drill diameter for the current work step, so we take care of that now. The drill diameter, so that's probably old school. There's a button right here when it's sized up to a drill. Matter of fact, with the tool diameter, that can be sized up to any corner radius. So if I were to click enter, this should give me let's go to a drilled hole. Let's go here. That guy right there. And enter. Calculate. And it gives you the diameter. So in the toolbox, that's not really required any longer. set first feed. So a lot of times when you have your first feed in a pocket, if you have a value set there, so when it starts in the center, it knows that it's cutting, with more material, the whole diameter is going through the material. So you want to use a slower feed. Some instances, you just don't want that. You can set it to 0 here automatically. Create geometry from curves, old school, max
Nice,
feed rate.
actually.
This one is important. So where you have high-speed machining and there's a return pass. So if you're cutting one way and not zigzagging across, so if you're always climb milling, at the end of the pass, at the end of the sweep, it wants to rapid back to the next position to start the sweep all over again. Well, it's not a rapid move. It's actually the highest feed rate your machine supports. Or you can cut it down if you want to. You don't have to go at full feed rate. But so this here will take the active post processor, like we did with the Simco. It made the tool list for us in the stock. This is going to update your post processor to the feed that you want to use as a rapid. So that's kind of behind the scenes. So that's where high-speed machining comes in play. Activate, deactivate work steps. You saw me over here in the list box. I just right-click. There's a menu, activate and deactivate. So if anything is deactivated, it won't simulate, and it's not going to post code. There's another. Let's go into toolbox. Where is it? Am I in the right product? Set first feed geometry. Missing my.
So can I?
Oh, let's see. What I'm looking for is the coordinate system, because you can activate, deactivate work steps. Okay, activate, deactivate them based on user coordinate system. So if you are programming in Mill or in Mill Pro, you might have multiple sides that you're flipping the part in the vise, or if you're having 4-axis work or 5-axis work, you can actually deactivate the work steps by a coordinate system. So when you post programs, if you're flipping the part, you can actually post a separate program based on the user coordinate system. We do have auxiliary functions where you can insert a hard stop. So if I want to go in here, work step, what do we have it under? Automation, auxiliary function. It presents you, there's like 9 of them, and they can be, you can assign text to each function. So I would just put in an M00 hard stop. Hit close, that gets inserted. You can adjust the location by using the left and right arrow keys. Left moves it up, right moves it down. So if I want to separate, you can make the entire program when you go to post your code, but when it hits the auxiliary function, it's going to throw an M00 in there if you set up the post processor that way to do that. So this is just an auxiliary function, is just our way of throwing in any amount of code necessary in between operations. So that's really a nice tool, but I don't see it getting used enough. I haven't had that many requests from for post processors. But this would be like I was saying, to make a program for a probing cycle, setting up boundaries or what have you. I'm not too familiar with it, but anywhere that auxiliary function is located is where it's going to insert custom code.
So that could even potentially be a dual spindle handoff. I mean,
we do have, well, we do in the turn, we do have a handoff.
You do have that. Oh, okay.
It is built right into it.
Great, actually. Okay, that's actually cool.
I'm telling you, for that $2,000, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Yep. There you go.
Absolutely.
I mean,
this is good for the AI. Let's see. So
that's post processor stuff again.
Yeah. Let's see. How does G41, G42, and G40 work?
Oh, we can even do. Ah, okay, that's nice.
Oh my God, it's, you know, this AI is brilliant. Okay, so it tells you like if you're going to use the left. Let me walk you through that. I've got a contour here. So our cutter comp, you have machine, which means that, and it goes based on the direction. So if you have the offset direction, you have left or right, that would be used. So if you're on the left, you're always climb milling, whether it's inside or an outside cut, you're always going in a climb milling direction. If you go with right, you're going to be conventional milling. So let's say I have it on left and cutter comp. If it's on software, there is no G41, G42. You can't adjust it at the machine. But if you choose machine, EasyCam center puts the G code on center line. So your path, let's say I was machining the outside edge of this part. If I have machine set, the G code is actually centered on the path on the outline of the stock. So in your machine, you have to put in either your diameter. Some machines require a radius, so it's based on whatever your control is configured for. If you choose both, EasyCam offsets for the radius of the tool, so the tool is outside the model, and you can put in a wear value in your machine register. Typically, you know, this with both, that's most commonly used with G40, G41. So you have all your tool register has is 0 diameter. And then if you want to make a tweak, you go in and maybe adjust it by a -1,000th or a +1,000th to stay away. So yeah, that's either
G41 and G42, guys, is like a complete must for finishing strategies as far as I'm concerned, especially if you have like a 2D curve finishing strategy. You always do G41, G42, is, you know, depending on whether you're climb or conventional cutting, because you can get your tolerances dialed in on the machine, just like Chris said, instead of needing to post programs again.
Now, okay, so AI had finished what it was saying, and let's just see. See how cutter comp works in EasyCam, basically going over what I've just described. I'm just looking for certain. I want it to output something for me, and so let's hope it does.
Quite a bit of detail, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can also save it to PDF, and you can copy it. So if you want to save it to a PDF and keep your questions listed, then you know that's one way of organizing. So when somebody sends me a question in email, I just copy and paste it in here, and I get the answer, and I send them over a copy or a PDF file.
There you go.
Yeah, it's telling me a little bit more than what
yeah. The last thing it said, it took me a while. It bit me quite hard on one of my first jobs. That FANUC only activates it on a linear move.
Oh, you know what? I'm in the wrong. I'm in post processor mode here, so.
Yeah.
Come on.
A little bit of feedback for you, Chris. They're saying that excellent demonstration of the raw stock method and the ALIBRE transfer methodology, very practical to achieve. So nice work.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You can also throw in a fixture if you needed to. Well, this thing's thinking. Why don't I just go ahead and show you that?
And I thought I saw that you can insert your model from ALIBRE as a fixture, correct?
Yes, that's
Which
exactly right. And that's I'm going
that's
to show you
so
an
powerful.
I want to show you an example of that. Let me. So you can have the table as a fixture, all of your clamps, the posts.
Yeah.
I opened it on top. This is another thing that people might get hung up on, and this is as intended. You have your model open, and then you go to File, Open. You're actually going, whatever you open is going to overlay on top of the model itself. So you want to be sure that if you're going to open a file, am I opening it for clamps or fixtures? Do I want to add that to the open document? And here I did not. So to show you real quick how this works, let me delete that one. I'm going to go to Pocket. I'm going to select this face, verify it. Okay, so if we look at a top view, you can clearly see we're going to crash our part, or our fixture rather.
Yep.
Then I go to what they call check surfaces. I want to check up against these two faces, or you can include the whole clamp if you'd like. Verify again. And you can see the modified toolpath. It's not going to violate the clamp.
That's
now,
cool.
If I go in the background, come over to 3D cycle data, these are my check surfaces. Those are my clamps. And if I add a allowance, let me see what 3 millimeters is going to look like. So you can see the center line of the toolpath. That's what this is. And also, I don't mean to jump around, but this is the high feed return for the next pass. So let's verify that. You can see now it's farther away from the clamp itself. So these check surfaces, we have more control. That's something new. I think it might have been introduced in the last version. So if you guys aren't up to date, I recommend you do that. Thought I'd throw that out there. Okay.
Hey, thanks, Chris. I like this feedback.
I'm really liking it. Yeah. I wanted to highlight that comment as well, Joseph.
Yeah. Good feedback from a user. Easy is a good option with the 4th axis.
Yeah, the personal license is somewhat nerfed in Fusion 360, and you're only able to use 3-axis CNC in there. Plus, you've also got all sorts of restrictions on the types of file formats that you can import and output from Fusion. So 100%.
But you know what? But you know what, Steve? It's not just, okay, you have the personal license and it's nerfed. What infuriated me, because when I started my company, I did start it with Fusion. Right? What infuriated me is that you're getting the professional version, you are paying for it, and then they go and nerf it. Because when I started, those extensions didn't exist. And from one day to the next, they decided that a few of the tools that I used to use were now extension tools. And instead of, the 70 euros a month I was paying, I was now expected to pay like 2,500 euros a year, which is not acceptable. And if you notice, they keep bringing tools in and out of these extensions, which is very, very shady business practice as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry to be saying this, guys, live, but I will keep saying it for as long as I want to, actually.
All right. I saw, do you need beta testers? I can break software like a 4-year-old with a hammer. Well, I've got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, and if you can keep up with them, I'm impressed. As far as getting your hands on the beta, keep a close eye on the forum. There's going to be the beta release there, and you should be able to break things there. So I'll look forward to your wreckage, Bill Black, 3093.
Yes.
I got to thank you, Chris and Costas. Love that.
Appreciate that.
And a good to see you, IQ.
That's Steve.
It's a rule minimum of 1 freeze per live. And then, how can you freeze when you're in Arizona? Great question. I think it might be Adam or Steve. You guys are much colder than me, so we're going to blame you.
It's climate change.
Hey, all of it melted for at least a week or two. Now there's only like 3 or 4 inches of snow on the ground instead of 3 or 4 feet.
Right.
We have to talk about tacos every live stream. So yes, I was tempted to go and get some tacos, but it came back too fast.
Yeah.
DoorDash. It's not fast enough.
I had one question. I don't know if I can find it, but it's about licensing. And guy has a computer in one room, a computer in the other room, wants to be able to move between them without manually releasing the license. So there is a Flex license available. This is where I wish I had a sales guy on with me who handles the licenses day in, day out and all that stuff. But yeah, I'd say email hello@alibre.com and they could probably talk you through what a Flex license is. I know both computers need to be on the internet. Thank you, whoever found that, for putting that up. Both computers need to be on the internet. And I think there's a fee associated, but yeah, so Flex licensing is definitely an option.
And,
yeah, and if they call into us, we offer the same.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So we got Flex, EasyCam, and ALIBRE. We got that all worked out.
Not that you're flexing at all. Sorry.
Oh wait, I don't know if I'm. There we go.
there you go.
All right.
There you go. That's the spirit.
I think our viewership just went up because of my flexing. So
There you go.
Yep. Well, I hear you have the right to carry guns in Arizona, right?
These guns are always legal, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
There you go. By the way, we'll blame Bill Black again for derailing this stream. It was the tacos that got us off the hook.
Yes, but keep watching, Bill. We love it.
And can I just try and bring this back in? I want to highlight this. So LG RFBS Chris just showed us an amazing utility of EasyCam, but I think that the question we started talking about was not about the EasyCam toolbox. I think the guy meant the two libraries.
Okay, my apologies.
Library.
All right. Well,
I didn't get it as well in the beginning. So,
you know what? Let me bring in. I want to show something that's also very powerful in EasyCam. If you can draw it, we can use it as an end mill.
Oh, that's so cool, man!
Oh yes.
Oh man! You know what? I used to work with a client that did a lot of aluminum extrusion, milling and drilling, and it was always custom tools, always. So that's a big plus right there. Like 3-stepped drills and shaped end mills and that sort of stuff. So that's very cool.
Now this is just this is a small example, but these are all center drills, and then I have my thread milling tool.
Thread milling, yep.
One of my libraries, I have counter bores. I mean, I actually have a video online in our YouTube channel that shows you how to create custom form tools. So that's one thing there that can be added. And what it is when you create your curve, your path, you're only creating it for half the tool, and the name that you give the curve is the name that you're going to use in the library. So if I go in here and I say new tool, and I say thread, because I already have thread mill, so thread. and it would be a flat end mill. You can here are your other tool options. You give it the overall diameter for the hole, overall length, angle, if there were any angles. But when I name that tool thread, I would have a curve in here that was also named thread, and EasyCam will look at that tool name and compare it to what's in the library and actually give you, let's go to thread milling. And I think there was somebody that brought up NPT. We also have the capability of adding a taper angle to our threading.
Oh, that's so cool. So like a tap with a tapered tap, like for MPT?
Yes. Well, the tapered tap is just like a drilled hole. It's just a tapping routine because you're feeding it straight down.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yes, that is.
Yeah, but with a thread mill, I mean, we support different types of thread mill.
Thread mill. Yeah. Cool.
So you have major types. I have a single tip. So I'm going to go in the background. Oh, I need to satisfy the chart here. Let me just give it some fictitious values. 1, depth 3, root diameter, I don't know, 23. That's actually going to be maybe 10. Okay, so if I go in my library, come all the way down to thread mill, it gives you a picture of your tool. So you know exactly what you're using. So you can set up tools out of the library.
Okay, can I ask now? I'm into my tunnel vision.
Squirrel.
Really sorry, squirrel. Really sorry for that, Chris. But when you make that custom tool, I imagine that you show in the simulation somehow that you may have, made an overcut, cut into the model instead of just the material and so on and so forth. And does that still apply with the custom tools? Can you show that actually the shape of the tool interfered with the model in the simulation as well?
It's looking at it like an end mill. It's taking the outside diameter. So if it does, but we do have what they call part compare. So if you're going to gouge your model, if it goes into the model, it'll actually show you. Let me.
Okay.
That might be. Let me finish up with the library thing, and then I'll show you the.
Yeah, sorry for that.
Part compare. Let me see. What do I want to get up here? So let's open this. All right. So we can go into the operation itself. You don't have to necessarily access it. You can access it on the fly. You go to select tool. Here's your tool library. You can pick a tool and load it. Now, let's say I have 2 libraries and I don't want to carry over all the same tools, but I do have what I want listed. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll build a library with the tools I'm going to use, and they'll be available, so I'm not picking through all the different names. You can just highlight it, and just like Word, you can send it over to a library if I had an open library. This is kind of related to libraries. If I were to, here's my 2 millimeter, or that's a 2-inch diameter. We're in inches. Let's say I make some changes here. I don't want to finish past my rapid 2 inches above. If I go to save as default, and I just say speed maybe. I go in to create another pocket. Well, just like your tool library, here you have a drop down and I can pick my high speed, but not only does it give me the tool I'm using, but how I'm using it in a pocket situation for the type of material I chose. So I don't, it's like when you make the cut right the first time and you got your machine singing, well, let's do that every time. I'll get the nice finish. I'll get everything that I'm used to. It'll have your speed, your feed rates, and all you have to do is just appoint a surface that you're going to machine using that strategy. So you can actually create another type of library just by going to set as default. I don't know if you follow that.
That's very useful, actually. Yep, strategy templates.
And
Very, very useful.
With my ALIBRE model and my square stock, let's just flow through all the operations. And we'll throw up the simulation. I'm going to go to stock setup, and in the stock setup, we have create uncut solids. Now, if that custom tool you're using is going to violate the model, you'll catch it here. Okay, yellow, I gouged the model. Yellow is a gouge, red is stock, green is, of course, to the correct size of the model. So I gouged this. Well, I don't know which operation that is, so I'm just going to double click on it.
Oh, that's nice.
Then I'll just test it. Okay, so this tool was too large. Now, when you choose contour centerline for a facing pass, if the tool is large enough, let's go with, I don't know, let's go with 5 inches. Let's see if that does what I want. Okay, so it's going to take a 5-inch cutter. It knows it's taking 1 pass. If my cutter's too small, back to 2 inches, and I verify, it knows that I'm trying to face this surface, and the tool is too small, so I'm going to give it the passes necessary to complete. So let's go back to 5 inches. And you can change the angle. So if I go with 0 degrees, you're definitely going to violate it here. We'll go back to 90. Verify, maybe, yeah, verify it again. And now my surface is protected. So anytime I have a question about something, like just double click on it. Now that's pocket 4 over here. That did that kind of work. So if I put in a negative finish allowance, there we go.
There we go.
Not bad, huh?
I love it when software. I love it when software tells you when you're going to screw something up in the real world.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes, that is. You know what I loved about that demonstration? Okay, you see the colors, you know you gouge there. You double click it and it gives you the strategy. Oh man, I love that. I love that. Because when in very large parts, when you have maybe like 15 or 14 or 15 tools, different tools working on one operation, one setup, you need to really remember what's going on, and that little double click that did it for me. I kind of like that one.
Absolutely.
I have a question from a Facebook viewer. We love our Facebook folks. Is EasyCam Mill Pro what is labeled as Easy Mill Pro on the ALIBRE website?
Yeah, I guess
went and
it
sent
is,
that to our website people just in case we need to do a rename on the website. But short answer is yes, they are the same. Great question. Likewise, I saw one. Is it possible to switch to the Flex license from a normal one? Yes, it is. So,
yep,
yeah,
same here.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Oh, perfect.
There you go.
We've got a lot in common, Chris.
Thank God for that.
I just
We're brothers, Joseph.
It looks like a match made in heaven. This, I'm telling you.
Absolutely. And then Bill Black is going to do his best or worst to break the beta. So looking forward to your wrath of carnage and destruction. And then a quick clarification. One user says, I've yet to find the AI in my Easy. I think there's a good reason for that. What do you think, Chris?
Older version.
Yep. Okay, I think that's all the ones that I was going on to. I think it might be time to do the big lottery. What do you guys think?
Hey,
Oh yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
I want to see a smile emoji.
Oh man, I thought I had all my sound effects queued up for this. I have to
There
go
you
with the clapping. If you, the viewer, want to have a full year access to every product that EasyCam offers, then enter the hashtag CNC Now into the chat. Hopefully you can see in the lower left, CNC Now. Enter that into the chat now. We'll give you a few seconds. And every time I switch my scene so that we can see everybody, I lose my text block. CNC Now.
CNC Now.
Now we're dealing with a chat delay.
Yeah.
Remember, you got to put that pound sign or a hashtag, as the kids call it.
Blame it on the taco.
Yeah.
It's the tacos. It's the tacos.
Chris is already in our inside jokes. This is great.
There you go. Yeah. Oops.
Get in on
Yeah,
that, guys.
Bernie didn't use that.
Here they come. Here they come.
There you go.
All right. Is that enough? I'm still getting them coming in, so we'll keep
So we'll
waiting.
give it another couple minutes here. What's everyone's favorite kind of tacos? What do you like?
The large ones.
The one I'm currently the next one I'm about to eat.
There you go. Hard shell or soft
Good
shell?
answer.
That's right in there with the calorie-free taco, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of like what's your favorite 3D printer? It's like the one that's working,
isn't it? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one that's working.
Stuff it with the food. Man, I'm getting hungry. Legitimately.
Yep. Well, 9 p.m. here, so let me tell you.
Oh, gee. You're just sticking it out, my friend.
There we go.
And as I've said before, this live stream,
goodness, that's a shocking statement right there in chat.
What,
I've never had one taco.
I don't believe you. Go get a taco.
You've never had a taco.
Go get a taco.
Is it the taco?
I have had a taco, and I live in Greece. How can you not have had one? It's amazing.
Never had a taco.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was about to say that the Greek street food, as I've stated before here, is a lot more engineering than in the US because the street food here are gyros. So, so there you go.
They'll keep you balanced.
Right? That'll keep you.
All right.
Oh my God, Steve, it's a balanced diet, isn't it? It's a balanced. There you go. That's amazing, man. Thank you so much for that. I'll use that.
I always thought a balanced diet is where every ingredient is weighed the same value.
Exactly.
Now we're back into weight versus mass again.
Right, isn't it?
All right.
Remember, hashtag CNC now to
only a couple more seconds. Couple more seconds on that. If it's about to pull
Bernie
it any second
knows
here.
what he's talking about.
Yep, and I found my correct sound effect, so I think we're going to jump into it.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
Let's go. Let's see who gets this.
What? It's because you did. It's because you posted it in the chat.
I put it in the chat.
And
it's because you put it in the chat.
Hang on, guys. Hang on.
There's one way of losing sales.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
It's not the first time either.
It's not the first time this happened.
I feel like we need to go over here.
Okay. We're gonna raffle it here.
Now
we
for
need an
real.
exception list in here, right?
Yeah. That looks.
Oh, this is a
suspicious.
long one.
It might be Ex Machina or Weekday Weekend.
No.
I didn't use it. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
All right.
Well,
So
congratulations.
Brock Ben and Brandenburg.
send
All
an
right.
email over to Chris, right? How should they contact you, Chris?
Email is really works well for me. You can hit me up at, let's see, do I put it in chat? Let's see. Why am I not? Well, my email is chris@easycam.com.
There, I got it on a text block. So email.
There you go.
Congratulations, Brock Brandenburg. Email chris@easycam.com.
Congratulations.
And I'm not
I
putting
look forward to
hashtags in the
working.
chat
Congratulations,
anymore.
guys. That was excellent.
Congratulations, man. That's a good win right there. It's good.
Definitely some nice software.
All right, what other questions do we have? And anyone want to play any games?
I mean, I can. I only a new PC build, so I only have one game downloaded right now.
What is that?
You must be a millionaire, Adam, if you're building a PC right now with the RAM prices as they are.
Actually, I just got really lucky on eBay.
Well,
That's all it is.
that works too, I guess.
But I am going to start the download for Warframe. Hopefully, it doesn't. Hopefully, it doesn't throttle my stream too much.
Yep, it's a big one.
It is.
It's a big one. It's a big one, Warframe, but it's.
See,
There you go.
I can't play the other game I have downloaded. It's a bit too M-rated and gory for this stream, but
Yeah, the only one that I played like that was Doom 2016, but that was a good game.
It's a good one, actually. Yeah, yep, that was a nice one. That was a very true to spirit video game.
Oh, I see his chat here. I'm playing Slither and trying to do comments at the same time, but Brock brings
he's
tacos.
a maniac.
Yep, that's me.
That reminds me of my youngest. He used to play new Super Mario Bros. 2-player by himself.
Oh my!
That's taking ambidextrous to the next level, right?
Yeah, actually does.
Still more reliable than Rob the Robot.
You shouldn't be old enough to remember that.
Now,
I'm not, but I like my retro games. So
now this is just a segue in case anybody has any better games.
Better than that? Well, I mean, how can you beat that?
we're at a raging 7% complete on Warframe download right now. So.
Rage. Okay, that's not bad actually. That's a decent speed.
Yeah. Kind of surprised my stream isn't being throttled right now, so I'll take it.
Yeah, and this, of course, is just if anybody thinks of any other questions, then we can jump back in. But a little segue for anybody if they have questions they need to think about or want to join us or anything like that.
So any final questions here?
You know, I've never live streamed playing a game before, and I'm being very risk averse here. I better start taking some risks.
Listen, if you want to live stream gaming, we need to set you up on Twitch.
There you go.
I don't know. Twitch is a little interesting right now.
It's been interesting for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason. There's a reason I've dedicated my time to YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I don't have the aesthetic for Twitch. I'm just gonna say that. I'm way too niche.
Yes. I wanna make a comment right now, but I so can't.
By the way, Joseph, that would have been a fail in Nokia's 3310 Snake game, right? Going over yourself, you just. So this is the easy version.
Yes.
There we go. Asked earlier about exporting a DXF without making a drawing. Is that possible?
It is.
Yeah.
It is possible. You export it through the sketch environment.
Well, do you want to show that, Costas? I got my screen kind of tied up.
You've got your hands full there.
Joystick.
Okay. Yeah. Let me show you that then. So let's start a sketch, and it's going a bit slowly for me. There you go. And I'll get a spline going, just to get a curvy, weirdy shape. If I right click here, right? Let me see if I remember how to do that. Maybe I need to close the sketch. Oh, I was pretty sure you could do it. Why don't you? For some reason with the stream it's going very slowly. Actually, it seems like you cannot do that. You can export it as an SVG though.
Is there a step he's missing, Joseph?
No, as far as I know, it's just drawings, but you can do SVGs for sketches. But usually, I think you can't do something and then Costas does it, so I didn't want to.
Okay, let me. I need to get. So I have an AutoCAD type software from. It's an IntelliCAD clone, but I need to get the key. It's got a dongle key now, so I can't start it. I just wanted to see if I can copy directly from ALIBRE and it would paste it, but yeah, other than that, you need to export it as an SVG, which can be got through Inkscape and turned into a DXF from there. I mean, if you don't want the drawing, you export the SVG, you fire up Inkscape, open it up, save as DXF, you're off to the races. That's the only way I can think of right now.
Perfect. And then you saw that comment from Carl Top.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Perfect. So we can jump back to big drama happened while you were doing that, Costas. I was completely circled and about to die when someone circled the one circling me, and then I got out of it.
Well, natural selection is also based in lag sometimes, so there you go. Always a bigger fish out there.
We got some more coming in here. I know, I'm trying to read comments and not die here.
We've got at ALIBRE LLC, sheet metal part cutting length. Flat pattern is first step of it. How to get the cut length value to calculate laser cutting length. How many meters does the laser need to cut?
That's an interesting one. That's where I haven't touched.
So I know why he's asking that, right? Because at a certain speed, you consume gas to run the laser, but I don't know if the measuring tool can help us there. If I select everything and measure, okay. So let's see.
Let's see if we can show you your screen.
Yeah. Okay. Oh no, a chain. There you go. No? Yeah. Okay. So if you look at this, right, I have my measure tool on. In the mode, I went to chain, and now I am clicking on a bunch of lines, and the total length is updating to give me that length, right? So I guess what you would do is you would just flat pattern your sheet metal, right? Actually, not flat pattern it. You would. Okay, let me get into a sheet metal part. You would unbend it, basically, right? Do I have a sheet metal part here? I don't. You would unbend it, right? And then you would create a sketch. Let's do one quickly.
You have to do it from a sketch. You can't do it from the edges of the model. From
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. So if I make this a contour flange, right? Then I unbend it. This is my fixed face. I select all other bends. Now, if I create a sketch,
frozen on the screen for Costa's screen share?
No, not for me.
So I'm saying just as I'm not seeing what he's.
You're minimizing and maximizing the file selection.
So I'm not seeing ALIBRE itself open other than the launcher.
Yeah, are you sharing?
Oh, thank you, Adam. Wrong screen.
Yes.
So there you go. That was all on me. So what you can do here is you can project to sketch, and you go ahead and you select everything, right? Thing is, you need to select these little bent tabs. But now you can. Well, let me see if I can make this a bit more efficient. If I right select, right? Do I need to do that? No, I need to select these two, delete them. Select these bends, delete them, but I still get these side little bends. And then I open up my measure tool, chains. I right click on one, chain select, and that is the total distance. Right? And but the drawback here is that you do it in you can only do that for continuous shapes. So you do that for the outside, but if you have 3 or 4 pockets for the inside, you need to do each one separately, and and keep the measurement somewhere and add them up. I guess you could write a script to do this. But yeah, measure chain mode, and then you will get the total length of all of your selections, and that's how you do that. I hope that helped.
I like this one from, I think it's green plastic watering can. Are there tactics for very large assemblies? Think fully designed motorcycle or mobile machine. I can pull that up on my screen. I have an example. Now you may notice a slight difference in the user interface. Not sure where that comes from.
Rise V29.
29.
Yes, I had this assembly, and very early on I accidentally saved it in V29 and couldn't go back. So what I think one of my favorite tactics for very large assemblies is we can break these down into sub-assemblies. So I can choose edit in a separate window, and then all of a sudden I've got a sub-assembly that really is a lot easier to deal with. This is so large that it's going to take a moment. I mean, even all the threads in this are actually threaded with physical threads, so this is kind of heavy.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the point of the question. But I can pull this up in a window, and all of a sudden I'm at half, and then I have a sub-assembly for the things inside of this one, and being able to break it down into smaller pieces can increase performance and let you work on things.
So that would have been a black panel of death in Fusion right there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It's so annoying, man.
Yeah, you don't need physical threads, but, McMaster Carr gives you the best of the best, so...
So, in other words, break it down into sub-assemblies.
That's my favorite tactic.
That's always a best practice. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And so we can just kind of go down the nest until we get to our raw components.
Nice.
And even from a top level assembly, I can still easily take something from a subassembly and just edit that one component in the context of the assembly
sure.
still.
Nice.
Here's a good question for, I think, for you, Chris. Does the raw stock methodology shown work in Easy Mill Express? And by the way, green plastic water can, let me know if that answers your question or if there's any follow-ups that I can do. But what do you think of that, Chris?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everything I showed you about creating custom curves, creating solid models for whether it be in ALIBRE or if you have an existing STL. It has to be an STL model if you're going to use them as fixtures and clamps. But Easy Mill Express supports it.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Along with multiple stocks as well. So that and multiple fixtures. So you have your G41, G42, and so on. I think it's E1, E2, and so you have a base fixture, and it just gives you the programs that have all the fixture offsets included. So if you have multiple vices, multiple stocks, that's available.
Perfect. It's better, which I found. Thank you. Use measurement tool, change selected surfaces. Wasn't accurate, but best I found. Super. Well, I think it might be that time, guys. Thank you all so much for your questions. We're going to be coming back. In fact, I made an overlay for this, so I better go and find it.
Yeah.
We're going to be coming back March 5th. So it's Thursday, so that we can get everyone available for another session of Helpdesk Live. We'll take your questions live. Ask us anything. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one.
See you guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you for
Bye,
watching.
everybody.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
All right.